Welcome to Local Matters. Today we begin in Plymouth. You may have a lot of things hanging around your house that you no longer need, like small appliances, clothing that no longer fits or seemed like a good idea at the time, things you can donate to others. But what about your medicine cabinet? Your prescriptions are for you. What's safe for you could be harmful to someone else. The best way to dispose of unused medication is through a drug take-back program. And Julie invited Katelyn McSweeney, Kelly Macomber, and Hannah Panteleos to talk about the best way to dispose of unused medications and an upcoming event to do just that.
So welcome to Katelyn, Kelly, and Hannah. I'm going to get right into it. Katelyn, October is National Substance Abuse Prevention Month. What is the significance of having a month dedicated just to this issue?
So having a month dedicated to substance misuse is really important to continue to raise awareness, drug education, destigmatizing substance use, and to provide an overall understanding of how addiction impacts our community. We aim to share resources and talk with folks and build connections with them. Through forming relationships to our fellow community members, we're able to support each other and, more importantly, feel a bit of connection to each other as COVID-19 continues to isolate people in ways we're not accustomed to. It's important to note that connection is key in eliminating the need to use substances. When someone is struggling with substance use, connecting with others and having a community of support around you really helps.
Definitely. Great. Thank you. Now, you're coordinating a medication disposal event, which is super important. Can you tell me the details and how people can get involved in this?
Sure. I first want to start off by saying while we're hosting an event, anyone at any point in time, if you'd like to dispose any unused or unwanted medications, you can do so by dropping them off at your local police department. We're really fortunate in Plymouth County that all police departments have a drop box for unwanted and unused medications, so you can contact them for more info. So each year we have 2 designated National Drug Take-Back Days in April and October. So to coincide with the October National Drug Take-Back Day, we're hosting our event on Saturday, October 24th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Plymouth Police Department. We chose to do a drive-through style this year so people can just drive through, dispose their unwanted medications in addition to sharps such as needles and syringes this year as well. We have a few items we'll be giving folks who attend the event, so be on the lookout for that. You can also engage with us on social media. You can follow PYDC Plymouth, and we have a Facebook event called RX Drug Take Back Event, and you can find us there as well.
Excellent. Great information. Now, Kelly, this event is a collaboration between multiple organizations. Can you talk about how this event came to fruition?
Yeah, definitely. So good morning. This event is something that we always really enjoy doing. So the National Drug Take Back event through the DEA happens twice a year. But this event really, came through just collaboration with all of our partners. So PYDC is a coalition that exists based on partnerships. So a lot of different sectors of the community coming to the table and working on the issue of really substance use prevention, but PCO has always been a great partner, as well as the Plymouth Police Department for this event specifically. So we're just, together we're more effective in all the events we do. So we chose to partner with PCO and the police department for this event. And yeah, we've always really worked closely with them and just figured it was a good event to do together.
Excellent. Now, it should be common sense, but why is it so important to dispose of old medications? And I want to follow up on that. Why is it not a good idea to throw them in the trash or put them down the drain?
Yeah, that's a great question. So just most importantly, I think what a lot of people don't, like when we think of someone using a substance for the first time, a lot of times we think, a drug dealer on the street is where they're getting their drugs from. But in reality, the data tells us that that's actually not the case. So usually the first access point for young people is through a medicine cabinet of either a friend or family member. A study from the National Institute on Drug Abuse found that on average, every day in the United States, 2,000 teenagers will use a prescription medication for the first time without a doctor's guidance. And then that same survey found that 70% of people who abuse prescription pain relievers got them from friends or relatives. So we know that it's really, really important to get those leftover substances or maybe just unused, unwanted, expired substances out of the medicine cabinet to keep friends and families and community members safe. the second part to that question, why is it important not to just throw them in the, toilet or throw them in the trash? So obviously when you're throwing a substance into, a toilet, it's going into the water, just could potentially be harmful to the environment in general. So there's a lot of proper ways that you can dispose at home. And, we share a lot of that information on our website and social media. But this just really gives people a safe place, one day in the fall, one day in the spring to have that drop-off point. So yeah, just I guess overall just being more safe for the environment. I don't know if Hannah or Katelyn maybe want to follow up on that, but that would be our biggest point.
Okay, we'll do that towards the end, definitely.
Yes.
Hannah, can you talk a little bit about Plymouth Outreach and what your mission is and what it actually does?
Yeah, absolutely. So Plymouth County Outreach is a collaboration of the 27 municipal police departments in Plymouth County, as well as the Bridgewater State University Police Department. And we work with law enforcement, recovery coaches, and several other community partners such as PYDC to provide resources and support to individuals who are living with substance use disorder and their loved ones. We support all pathways to treatment, including harm reduction, and we recognize that recovery is not a one-size-fits-all approach.
And you're more into the intervention end of this versus the prevention end of this. And if people can't make the event where we're going to be dropping off unused prescription drugs, where other things can they do, and what other places can they dispose of their medications?
Yeah, so as Katelyn mentioned previously, every police department in Plymouth County has a drug disposal box in the lobby that's available to the public 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, where you can safely dispose of all your unused medications. And if you want to look up more information on what you can and can't dispose of in those boxes, you can visit the Drug Enforcement Agency website.
Okay, excellent. And ladies, let's do a final walkthrough of this. And can you tie it into right now how I would think substance abuse is on the rise, that a lot of people are suffering from different forms of depression. How is that all playing into making this so critically important, especially this year? And Katelyn, let's start with you.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, I was talking a little bit about that earlier. Like this pandemic has really impacted us in a lot of ways that we're not used to, being more isolated, not being able to go places, and dealing with that anxiety and depression of it all. So I think this event is super important right now because people might have more things at home that they're not necessarily used to having at home, and all their kids are home, whether that's partially through remote learning or hybrid or what have you. So people are home more, and we want to make sure that our homes are safe. So in doing so, I think it's really important for an event like this and just raising awareness and sharing that you can drop off your unused and unwanted medications and making that more known to people, because I think not everyone realizes that they have the opportunity to do so in a safe way. So I think that's really the crux of our event.
Exactly. And Kelly, we could use this as a teaching moment for all those children that are home about why it's important to discard medications that are old or unused, correct?
Yeah, I think it's a great teaching moment, based around those facts that I pointed out earlier. I think it's important for young people to know that oftentimes prescription medications are misused. I also think it's important to point out that if you are somebody that's thinking about attending the drug take back, but you're nervous about COVID-19, which is a really valid concern, we'll all be wearing masks during the event and practicing physical distancing. So we're going to keep this event as safe as possible for anyone that might be considering, but is just feeling a little uncertain. Just wanted to add that to the list there.
Right, and being a drive-through makes it as safe as you possibly can do it. And Hannah, final thoughts from you? Any final thoughts, Hannah?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so just going off what Katelyn and Kelly said, this pandemic has been hard on everyone, but so much about recovery is about connections, and I think people are really missing those connections. Doing AA and NA meetings on Zoom and stuff like that just isn't the same. So I think having this event in person and being safe about it is the smart way to do it. People can get out of their houses, get rid of their medications, and pick up some resources and swag while they do it.
So we urge all of you to participate in the October 24th from 10 to 2 at the Plymouth Police Department. Bring in all your unused and expired medications. Ladies, Katelyn, Kelly, and Hannah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Elizabeth, back to you.
Thank you, Julie. If you have questions about the October 24th event, email hpanteleos@plymouthcountyoutreach.org.